Oh, hello.
Oh, hello.
And welcome to the Comic Queens podcast. I'm Alex.
And I'm Annie. And today we have a very special theme for everybody.
Yes, we do.
Because February 4th, National Serpent Day. And what better way to celebrate than by talking about snake stories?
Yes, there are two types of snake stories.
There might be like a couple more types, but I think there are two that we've gravitated towards. I will say, if anybody has listened to this podcast before, we did do a highlight on serpent stories last year.
Yes, we did.
And there were some real winners.
Yes.
We had In Cold Love. We had Disobey the Duke If You Dare. We had A Sacred Serpent Seduction. And I mean, really just the best of them. This is going to be maybe a bit more of an unhinged episode. So you might want to buckle up for that one. But I do think you get like a very specific type of story and common recurring themes when it comes to snake stories often.
Mm-hmm.
For example, there's one titled Breed Me Snake Boys.
Haven't read that one.
That's a real life thing that exists. And then there's one called The Serpent's Den on Leeson, if you're really a brave soul. Which
you are.
Well, really I'm a chicken, but I have a friend who heckled me.
Look, I may be that friend, but I am saying when you said that you maybe found your line, I did maybe say, that's the line, really?
And it only got worse from there.
Yeah, well, that's not my fault.
Listen, The Serpent's Den is a story for another time and another place. It will not make a conversation here on this podcast, mostly because I am uncomfortable saying most any of what happens in that story out loud.
Yeah.
I have found my limit.
So that's one that you're not recommending.
I'm going to keep reading it. But you know what? This is kind of a read at your own risk and maybe keep it to yourself kind of story. Okay? So today, Alex and I, in an effort to find stories that maybe weren't as unhinged, have picked a few different serpent stories to recommend to you in honor of National Serpent Day.
Yes. So I found one on Manta called Descendant of the Serpent. This is one that was like semi on my radar, I think probably a few years ago when I was reading in Manta all the time and Manta only, and kind of forgot about it and went back to it. So this one is complete at 108 episodes, so it's a bit of a longer one. Mm-hmm. And it's a romance, love triangle, supernatural, and this is about Bai Motau, and she is a college girl and she's going on a trip with her class. Now, she has a hot teacher. Everyone loves him. He's like, you know, the superstar of their department.
Did you have a hot teacher when you were younger?
Yeah.
I didn't. Never. And I feel cheated.
Let me see. I had a few. I won't name them.
I think that's for the best. I think they would very much appreciate not making an appearance here.
Probably. But yeah, I did. I definitely did.
That is good to know. I did not. I do feel kind of cheated by that.
Yeah,
I feel like
a little
everyone's
bit.
like, oh, I had this hot teacher. And I'm like, all my teachers were kind of old women.
Yeah.
And you know what? They were great.
Were you liked by teachers?
It depends on the teacher.
Yeah.
I had a teacher who hated me.
Yeah, you did tell me that one.
Literally, like, took me out into the hall and was like, I'm sick of your shit.
Oh my gosh.
In my face, pointing at my face.
No one ever did that to me.
Yeah, but I also had teachers who, like, would let me do whatever I wanted.
Me too.
I was one specific teacher's favorite.
Yeah.
Shout out to my music teacher, but it was only because I was a pretty good singer and I could do no wrong.
It's true.
So, shout out to teachers.
Well, this teacher, his name is Lin Yuan. Super hot. White hair. Bright blue eyes.
We would have been in love with him.
We would have been in love with him.
He's Gojo.
Yeah. Yes. He kind of is. And they are on a trip to some ancient ruins, and there's like a serpent statue in the center of these ruins.
Okay.
So as they're like milling about, we see that Bai Motau is not well liked by a lot of the other students. A lot of the students are kind of scared of her because there was an event that happened in her past where she and 2 friends were out in the woods, and both of the 2 friends ended up dying while they were out. And people accused her of being the one to kill them. But it was like natural disaster type of thing, you know?
That's so sad.
Yeah.
Like, on top of losing your friends, you're also grieving and being accused of murder.
And people are saying, like, yeah, you did it.
Crazy.
So she's having a rough time of that.
Yeah.
They are also accusing her of, like, coming on to this hot teacher because the hot teacher is nice to her.
Probably because he sees everyone else being rude.
Yeah. That could be it, but maybe not.
Oh, no. Is it inappropriate?
No.
Oh, okay.
No. We also see our other main character. His name is Yin Kangdong, and he is from a wealthy family. He's very well known, very popular, and he is walking by them straight into the center statue of these ruins. And everyone is like, oh my gosh, I can't believe he's here. What's he doing here? So Bai Motao and Lin Yuan go down to the center of the ruins as well. And the snake statue starts talking to Bai Motao. She's a bit concerned by this, as I think we most would be.
Yeah, I think we probably all would be.
Yeah.
So they can hear it too?
No, just her.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So she looks crazy right now.
Yeah.
Cool.
And then she passes out. And Lin Yuan, he takes her out and takes her away. Mm-hmm. So this is where we find out that Bai Motao is not actually a college girl. She is a descendant of this ancient serpent clan, and she has had her memories wiped. Mm-hmm. So, like, for her protection.
Yeah.
So she is a very important person to this serpent clan.
Yeah.
Lin Yuan was kind of her, like, mentor and protector in her previous life. And so that's why he was there in the first place. He's not actually a teacher. He was posing as a teacher to be around her. And so he starts filling her in on just, like, here's the history. We have the serpents and the bird clans. The divine bird clans are kind of almost evil overlord-esque. Mm-hmm. You know, like, they're at war, and the divine bird clan is way more powerful. So they do lots of underhanded things, like they are tricking a bunch of serpent women into coming to this, like, modeling agency, and then kidnapping the women and selling them off to powerful politicians.
That's interesting, because I feel like usually with the imagery of, like, the snake and the bird,
it's the other way around.
It's the other way around.
Yeah. Well, there's a lot of lore around this too, where the serpents are dwellers of the night, and the birds are dwellers of the sun. And because the sun is too powerful, the serpents are very weak, and it allowed the birds to come in and destroy almost everything of the serpents. Once she finds this out, she has to pull a Hermione Granger and wipe her parents' memories of her so that they have no memory that they even had a daughter.
Yeah.
For their protection.
Spoiler alert for Harry Potter, I guess.
I mean, if you don't know that by now, I'm sorry.
You've had some time.
I gave you plenty of time to figure that one out.
If you wanted to read those books, they've been there.
Or at the bare minimum, watch the movies.
Yeah.
It happens there as well. So she does that, and she goes to live with Lin Yuan, and she's trying to figure out a way to help the Serpent Clan kind of regain some of their power. Then Yin Kangdong is from the Bird Clan. That's what he was doing down there.
Okay.
So he was trying to destroy this serpent statue because it's one of the last places that the serpents had. And so when he saw Bai Motao there, then he's like, okay, she's a serpent. like, she doesn't smell like a serpent, but she is one, clearly. I've got to figure this out.
Yeah.
So then they are still both pretending to be college students. They get in a fight, and he threatens her, and he's like not in control of his powers at this point. So instead of hiding his threatening from everyone like he's supposed to be doing, everyone is seeing him threaten her. And so the principal comes over and is like, hey, now, you guys need to do a project together to like get over this confrontation. And she's like, he threatened me. She's got like handprints on her throat.
Oh my God.
And he's like, no, you have to participate with this too.
I feel like that is the wrong course of action.
Yeah, probably. But it is pretty funny to see their interactions because they've got some real enemy to lovers vibes going on.
Yeah.
And they're just so funny. Their banter. Their job is basically that other students come to them and they have to help solve the problems. So this one girl who is one of the leaders of just the people being mean to Bai Motao is like, I want to go to this modeling gig and I need you to, help me get in. And they're like, okay, that kind of works out for us because we heard that there's some fishy stuff going on there. So like, sure, we'll do that.
Yeah.
So they go, and that's when they find out that the serpents were being taken and sold to these powerful politicians and everything. Mm-hmm. So you start to find out that not only is Bai Motao the daughter of the Red Serpent, who was the previous leader of the serpents before she died, she is also the daughter of the Bluebird, who is a divine bird. So she is a daughter of both.
Oh.
And she has too much power because she has the power of both clans. And so her father, the Bluebird, he's also, the reason that he was even with the Red Serpent is because he was on the run from the Bird clan because he is a very rare type of bird that has no combat power, but has the ability to, he's a healer, so he can heal people. He can offer one person immortality. And like he keeps immortality, but then as soon as he gives even just one drop of blood to someone else, then they get that immortality.
Okay.
That's why he's on the run from the Bird clan. He's like one of the last bluebirds.
Yeah.
And so he hides her powers, Bai Motao's powers, as
Side
the
note,
Bird clan. Yeah.
Bluebirds in real life, very sweet birds.
Yeah.
My grandma used to bird watch. She loved bluebirds.
They were a good bird?
Yeah.
We get some bluebirds out here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not blue jays. Not to be confused. Blue jays, assholes.
So he hides her power from her so that no one will know that she has both clans' powers.
Does
and
she
she'll
also
be
have
safe.
immortality?
No.
Okay.
But she has to figure out who to help because now she's got the Serpent clan saying, like, you are our savior. You have to help us. And she sympathizes with them and understands that they've been under control of this Bird clan and very, like, struggling a lot. And on the other hand, she sees from the Bird clan, they're like, if the serpents take control, the world will fall into darkness because the serpents will eat the sun. And so, like, there will be no balance if you help the serpents. So Lin Yuan, he's hell-bent on revenge.
Yeah.
Yin Kangdong, he is becoming more and more attached to Bai Motao and on her side instead of being on the side of, like,
One or the other.
Yeah, the Bird clan. So he's also been branded as a traitor's son because his father was accused of killing the Bluebird. So I won't tell you more than that. There's a lot going on. Essentially what Bai Motao has to do is figure out who she is and how to help everyone and not let the world become unbalanced, but not let the Bird Clan, you know, continue to abuse the Serpent Clan, and how to
balance college life. No.
How to balance college life. No, she's not a college student anymore. But there is a lot of stuff that happens after all of this. Like, she ends up going back in time and meeting her parents, and she continues to get closer to Yin Kangdong, who she's connected with and she doesn't know how. Like, he has a connection with her that his father kind of told him about. Like, one day you're going to meet someone. I gave you a special gift. One day you're going to meet someone who it belongs to, and you're going to have to give it back. It's just so good. I loved this one. I absolutely loved this one. And I think you should read it.
I probably will.
Yeah.
I'll add it to the never-ending list.
I think you would really like it.
I probably would. I will say Manta is hurting my feelings right now because a lot of series are leaving that I still need to catch up on.
You know, same.
So I'm working on that.
Yeah.
But, you know, once I catch up there, then I'll be good enough to try to get ahead.
Yeah.
So I love it. That sounds great. Well, the next one that I read is called The Blue Snake and the Red Moon. This is on Leeson. It's completed with 128 episodes. I have not read all of it yet, but I will be finishing it because I loved it. So spoiler alert, it's worth it. This story is quite a bit of coins to unlock. So I think in total to unlock this story, you're spending about $50 to $60 to get the whole thing. But it is worth it to me. I already love it. So this story follows Lee Rong. She is kind of a independent woman. That's like the best way to put it. She doesn't really have much of a choice.
Does she listen to Shania Twain?
She should.
Yeah. You know, like,
it'd be really empowering for her, probably.
She's kicking her boots around.
Man, she feels like a woman.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, she is pretty badass. She doesn't take shit from anybody. She has grown up her entire life extremely unlucky. And so she relies on no one. She goes around as a traveling merchant. She carries all of her stuff herself. People try to rob her of her things, thinking that she's a weak woman, and she fights back pretty well because she learned her lesson. She's like, that's my livelihood. You can't take that from me. And she fights with everything she's got. She's a little pistol. So Lee Rong is walking around, you know, peddling her stuff, and she realizes that the sun is going down and that there is this known mountainside and forest that is said to be haunted. And there was a vengeful spirit that had once attacked these villages and the people within this forest. So she goes, just bad news to kind of go through here. The mountainside is also pretty bad news. There's not really like a good way to go about this, and the sun is going down. So she kind of comes to a fork in the road. She gets to pick the shortcut, but it's not really well lit, and it's also like known to go through a lot of these haunted lands. Or she can go and take the longer route, which is also kind of through the haunted lands, but it'll take her longer. And she's like, you know what? I'm taking the shortcut. And immediately she gets lost.
Oh no.
She's not lucky. Like, she could have picked the perfect answer and it would have gone wrong. So she's walking through, and of course, like anybody alone at night in a desolate area, she's terrified out of her mind. But she runs into an old woman, and the old woman's like, it's fine, just come to my house. You shouldn't be alone at night. Like, we'll give you shelter, you know, and it's fine. So she and her husband cook her food. They're all talking, and Lee Rong is starting to piece together that something's not quite right, because she sees like a hat and working clothes like in the corner that are definitely too big to fit these elderly people. She goes, someone else must be here, something like that. And they keep talking about their son. So she goes, oh, he's like, maybe these aren't good people. And as she's eating the food, she starts to pass out, and she realizes that she's either been poisoned or like something is putting her to sleep involuntarily. And she loses consciousness. When she wakes up, she realizes that she is being buried alive next to a corpse.
Oh, that's terrifying.
Yeah. And it's the old people burying her. You find out that the corpse is their son who had died on the mountainside, but they promised their son that they would marry him to someone.
Oh, no.
And so they go, we're burying you, but we're burying you with a wife. So don't be afraid.
I'm afraid.
Lee Rong is also very afraid. So Lee Rong is like, please don't do this. Oh my God. And literally the corpse of this man is talking to her. He's like, don't be afraid, wife. And she's like, she is like completely lost it at this point. So she's trying to get out and she can't because there's now a red string of fate tying her to this dead man.
Is this a zombie love story?
No.
Okay.
So she's terrified out of her mind. She's literally now like buried alive. And her consciousness is slowly fading. But as she's in the ground, she hears a voice. And the voice says, if you promise to tie yourself to me, you can be my wife and we can escape this together.
That's a gamble.
It's a gamble. Now, Lee Rong has no good luck.
And no other options.
But no other options. She's literally being buried alive. And this is just like her consciousness at this point, slowly fading. She's not even sure if it's just her mind playing tricks on her and she's slowly dying. So she's like, what do I have to lose? I'm either tied to this corpse ghost man or I'm tied to whatever just said that to me. So she agrees to tie herself to whatever entity just spoke to her. And in doing so, she does make it out of being buried alive.
Oh my gosh.
So she's like, this is the luckiest thing that ever happened to me. Maybe my luck is turning around. And she realizes that she has now tied herself to the vengeful spirit, which was a snake god that was buried and trapped in the mountainside because he massacred people. So
her luck's turning around.
She has a snake husband. This man is like silver hair, blue eyes, and he's known as the Blue Snake. His name is Tajin. And he's talking to her about how he felt being buried for so long. Mm-hmm. Because he's alive through it all, but he was unable to escape because of the way that he was buried.
So how did he escape with her then?
Because the mortal soul is the only one that can release him from being trapped.
So she's like, I release you, kind of.
Yeah, basically. And no one else was dumb enough to do that. So he's like, wow, my luck is turning around. And she's like, I don't know that mine is the same. But Tajin has a very candid conversation with her about how, you know, in the first 100 years that he had been buried, he knew that he would just be grateful if someone released him. Mm-hmm. You know, in the following 100 years, so 200 years after being buried, he was like, I'll give them, you know, a wish. I'll grant them a wish if they release me. Mm-hmm. After his additional 100 years of being buried, his 300th year of being buried, he goes, I'll give them anything. I'll make all of their wishes come true if they just release me. Like, this is torment being buried under here. Mm-hmm. But it's now hit about 400 years. And
he's gone back around to anger.
And now he's back to anger. Yeah. So he's kind of sitting there like, what do I do to her? Because she released me, but I'm pissed and I have to take my anger out on someone. And she's like, you can't kill me. I'm your wife. So really, this is a very non-conventional red string of fate story about a very unlucky girl and trying to figure out if her luck has actually turned around by being tied to this snake, or if this is maybe the worst decision she's ever made.
Oh my gosh, that sounds great.
It is so good.
Oh my gosh.
I love it. The imagery is really, truly beautiful. I love the red and the blue. And that does come into play a lot in some stories, like the red and blue Oni, like the good and the bad. But it's kind of roles reversed here. It's very good. I highly recommend that you read it. I will be finishing this one. It's just expensive, so I'm taking my time.
Yeah, that's fair. We are unlocking a lot of things.
All of the time.
So, you know, we got to do what we got to do.
Got to make ends meet so that we can unlock these stories.
So the next one that I have for you, I thought was going to be one of those serpent stories that we weren't going to be able to talk about.
Serpent's Den.
A little bit of PWP, if you will. But it was not.
Okay.
I was pleasantly surprised.
Shockingly surprised.
Yes. This one is called The Serpent Shaman. This is on Lazen. It is 34 episodes. It's a BL mystery story. And this one is about Sinu, and he is a man who has been having some problems with spirits. Like, just too much spiritual energy around him.
Are we talking Lee Knock levels? From Ghost Nocturne?
Like, similar, but not as strong.
Okay.
So, right off the bat, he goes to participate in a shamanistic ritual to try and solve this problem of having too many spirits around him. And he finds a spirit, Bian, and Bian attaches himself to Sinu and is like, I got you. Now, to have your back, we have to have a union. So we're going to do that here and now.
Oh, okay.
Which is a strong start and why I thought this was going to be a little bit of PWP.
Sounds like it kind of was for a little bit.
At the beginning it was. Now, the god Bian decides to go home with Sinu after this and just starts following him around. Super clingy, like kind of adorable, but also annoying.
Okay.
You know?
Yeah.
He's just a little bit of a troublemaker.
He's a little bit too much there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Super cute, though. Also, they have the best chibis.
Oh.
So, he loves to make Sinu feel embarrassed and, like, see him blush. So, he just says off-the-wall things to, like, try and get him to be embarrassed. And it works very easily.
Yeah.
So, he's following Sinu home. And Sinu goes to get a job. So, he interviews. He ends up getting this new job. He's going back and forth to work. And Bian is like, all right, we got to keep this union up. We got to keep going. So he does like a couple more times. And then finally Sinu's like, I need a break.
Aww.
And so Bian takes him at his word and is like, all right, I can do that. Like, I'll stay here. And he kind of becomes a little bit of a housewife god. You know, he doesn't know how to cook, but he's trying.
Poor guy.
So he's there to greet Sinu as soon as he gets home. He's like, hello, how was your day? And so Sinu is kind of struggling because he's like, I don't know what his intentions are. I don't even know if he really is a god.
Yeah.
He can turn into a snake, so clearly he's something.
He's something, but is he a snake or is he more?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Think of like the In Cold Love snake. But white with yellow eyes.
Ooh, pretty.
Yeah, can change, you know, size and everything. Also has super adorable snake moments.
Love it.
Just, he can communicate with the snake, like, while he's in snake mode. He'll just be looking at him.
Telepathically.
Yeah.
They have an understanding.
It's, oh my gosh, I love it so much. So Sinu is on his way home from work one day, and he kind of gets lost. It's raining, and he starts having these really bad flashbacks about his dad. And so this is where you see that he had a really horrible, abusive childhood with his dad, who was a shaman, but, like, not really a shaman. He was using his son, who could see ghosts, and claiming that he was a shaman to get money, but he was like gambling and he was a drunk and just not a good person.
Yeah.
He abandoned his son once his son stopped seeing ghosts, and now he's coming back because he needs more money. And he's like, how dare you, you know, not be there for your father? And he's like, you abandoned me.
You're a freeloader.
Yeah. And so he's having all of these horrible flashbacks. He like completely breaks down on the street, and you see ghosts are following him. Like, he's being haunted by all these ghosts. And it actually, like, I mean, it is kind of the Ghost Nocturne in this way of you do get to see these ghosts, and they're super creepy. It's not like the creepiest ones that we've seen, but it was shocking at first. I was not expecting it.
Yeah.
I didn't read the description of this one, so I had no idea what this was going to be about.
Sometimes that's even better.
Yeah.
It's a nice little surprise.
Yeah, it really was. And Bian helps him, like, he banishes these shades and takes him home and is like, I will protect you. And he can't see what the shades were projecting to Sinu to, like, upset him so much. So he asks him, like, what did you see? And that's where he finds out that it was his dad that he was seeing. And then you see that Bian, the reason that he attached himself to Sinu in the beginning is because 15 years ago, when Sinu was, like, looks to be, like, early teens, he was a snake and he was stuck in a fence. And Sinu comes across him and is like, oh my gosh, like, I'll help you. And takes this snake out and, you know, wraps him up in a little bandage. And the snake is... Bian is like, I should help you. Like, I feel compelled to help. You helped me. I'm going to help you. Sees that all of these ghosts are around him as a kid. Gives him a little boop on the nose. And then he's like, this isn't going to protect you forever, but this should give you, like, about 15 years. He doesn't say this, like, he's thinking it in his head. Because Sinu just thinks this is a regular snake.
Yeah.
So he's like, this will give you about 15 years without seeing ghosts. And, you know, maybe by then I'll be able to come and help save you.
Yeah.
So that's why he's starting to see these ghosts again, where he wasn't seeing them for a long time. And that's why Bian came to him when he was at this shamanistic ritual. So the whole rest of the story, like, we see Bian get kidnapped by the dad, and you get to see their relationship grow, where, like, they're both kind of having doubts of, like, Bian is like, why? I know that I want to protect him, but, like, I feel like my feelings are more than just protecting him. And Sinu was like, I don't know what his motives are, and I don't know how he feels about me. So they have a little bit of, like, just trying to figure out what they mean to each other.
Yeah.
And trying to deal with, like, the horrible dad and, like, what to do about him. And this one was also so good. I'm so happy with both of the snake stories I read.
Yeah.
I loved them both. I think you should read both of them. This one was really easy to read. Because it was only 34 episodes, like, it's a really good bite-sized one to read. It had a lot more plot and substance than I thought it was going to have.
Yeah.
The characters were perfect. I absolutely love them. We've got a little bit of opposites attract. There's a little, like, him wanting to embarrass Sinu all the time is just adorable, because he's kind of like, he's this big buff guy and he just gets so embarrassed all the time, and it's just so cute. I love it. I love it so much.
I almost read this one for today, and so I'm going to have to go back and read it.
Yeah.
It sounds really cute.
It really is.
And I'm not going to lie, I read the first episode. I was like, this is some PWP for another time.
Right?
So that is a nice surprise.
Yeah. I thought, okay, I'm just going to have to, like, unlock the entire thing without reading the description after reading the first episode, because I couldn't find another snake story.
I do think that we've used up a lot of really good snake stories. So hopefully by next year, creators are making more of them.
Either that, or we're just going to have to start talking about the other kind.
Yeah, so, you know, stay tuned for that. Well, the last story I have to talk about today is truly one of the cutest stories I've ever read. It's, like, so cute it gives you a cavity. And this is different from everything we're talking about, as there's no romance really involved here. Mm-hmm. So this story is called Serpent-dipity. Very cute name. It's on Webtoon and it's completed with 27 episodes. So it's another one of those really good bite-sized stories. I adore this story. Like, we're talking like top tier story for me. Mm-hmm. I want to go back and reread it because it just made me feel so good in my heart. This story follows Andromeda Sterling. Incredible name.
I was just thinking that.
But she goes by Andy. And Andy feels like she's constantly living in her sister's shadow. So they are a family of witches. Andy is prepping for this collegiate academy called the Lunar Academy. And her sister is what her parents say is like the picture perfect daughter. She has perfect grades. She's getting a great job out of the academy. You know, she's beautiful. Guys like her. Like, and Andy just looks at her and is like, ugh, I can't even stand to look at you. Like, you shine too bright, basically. Like, it's not that she has this hatred for her sister. It's that her sister sets this standard she feels like she can't meet and that she's expected to be. Mm-hmm. And she's like, I just want to be myself, but I've had to focus more on my studies. I've had to, you know, really just kind of try to, you know, find my own place, but also feel like I have to follow in these exact footsteps. And it's just a lot of pressure. It's draining her. And she can't help but feel resentment towards her sister for it.
Yeah.
Even though the people who are making these comparisons and putting this pressure on her are external forces. So Andy is home and her sister Jane is coming back home to visit from the academy between starting her new job and finishing school. And so the parents are like, oh, let's do a nice family dinner like we always used to. And Andy, in very, you know, angsty girl kind of ways, is like, you know what? I've lost my appetite. I'm leaving the table. And she goes upstairs to start packing for her trip to the academy. Jane goes to confront Andy because they always used to be really close. She doesn't like how distant they've felt. And so Jane is trying to understand where Andy is coming from. And they're both kind of having their own conversations. Andy's like, get out of my room. I'm packing all my stuff. She's got like her suitcase ready to go. She's packing up her cauldron, which is full of a bunch of bubbling stuff as witches do. Mm-hmm. And Jane is like, people at school call me a snake. Like, you don't understand. I'm not this perfect person, you know? And as they're having this conversation and Jane says, people call me a snake, the cauldron spills on Jane and Jane turns into a snake. No spells were made. Andy has no idea how it happened, like, ideally. And the parents rush in. She's like, great, my parents are going to fucking kill me for turning my sister into a snake. And they kind of think it's funny. Like, they laugh. And Jane is kind of bummed. She's like, ugh, I don't want to be a snake. And the parents go, you know what? This is a great learning moment. Okay?
Oh my gosh.
You're going to take Jane with you to school as your familiar. And while she's there with you, it's the perfect time to also get some practice and studies in. And you can try to turn her back into a person.
Yeah.
And so you can see the parents are kind of scheming. They see the distance between the daughters and they're like, forced proximity. They'll figure it out. So Andy takes Jane to school with her. And this story is just a beautiful tale about learning that you can't just judge people by the covers that are given. Like, Andy realizes how hard Jane's life has been and how hard she pushed herself. And Jane doesn't want Andy to do the same or to follow in these footsteps because she admires Andy for the quirky girl that she is. And this story is just a beautiful tale about sisters feeling distant and coming back together. It's a school life fantasy. It is one of the most precious stories I've ever read. And I absolutely adored it. And by the end, as the sisters make up, I'm like, this is the best thing ever. I loved it. It was nothing that I expected, but it was everything that I needed.
I'm so glad you loved it. I'm also glad to see one that isn't a romance. I feel like every other snake story we've ever talked about has been a romance. So it's a good, refreshing take.
Yeah, it was definitely like breath of fresh air. Mm-hmm. And I loved it. So, highly, highly recommend if you haven't read it already. It is the most beautiful, adorable story with bubblegum colors, and it is absolutely worth every second.
Love it. We did good with these snake stories.
Yeah, and you're going to do great with the snake stories too when you read them.
Yes.
So be sure, take note, read all of them. Maybe not Serpent's Den, but it is there for people who want to. But thank you all so much for joining us on this Serpent story episode, and we are looking forward to talking to you all on the next one.
Goodbye.
Bye.